Okay, week 2 of Dime Premier League. We'll be reviewing the top sets that occurred during this week. I'm not doing an intro for this because I've tried so many times before and I've butchered almost every single one of them. Okay, so starting off, we have Slee versus Feint. Both of these players are part of our server's competitive council, with Slee coming off of a win against Arceus, again being a part of our competitive council, and was also a part of last week's favorite set, so seeing Slee here again is very nice. And Feint, sadly coming across their first loss during the first week against Aqua Haze, I'm pretty sure. I'm not double checking that, but I think that's who it was. Anyways, they're still both really good players, and it is definitely going to be an interesting match we're going to see here. So, beginning off, we'll be seeing a lead from Slee's Scizor and Feint's Rillaboom. Slee's Scizor definitely has the upper hand here. As we see a switch into Zapdos from Feint, U-turn. Will there be a static? No, but Nidoking does come out and threatens off an Ice Beam. Goldango switches in with their Balloon. And while it is able to take it, there's no safe way that this Goldango will be able to take on Earth Power. So Feint will switch into the Toxapex, interestingly enough. I mean, it is a bit of a hard Pokemon to match up into. They're going to sack the Toxapex. I think they could have gotten their Zapdos, but once again, hard Pokemon match up into, seeming from their team so far. Slee goes into the Alomola. U-turn from Kleavor, going to Rillaboom, threatening off a Wood Hammer, but Scizor is right in the back, so they could very well just U-turn here. They will U-turn into the Scizor switch, and they'll go into their own Scizor. Okay, interesting. So Scizor mirror matchup. Mega from Slee's side, Mega from Feint's side. We'll see another U-turn. Just spamming pivoting moves all throughout. It will Sword Stance. Nidoking can potentially throw off a Flamethrower here, and I think that's what Feint's scared of right now. Flamethrower will come out. Kleavor might have something in the back, I'm not too sure in their moveset. Stone Axe will just set up Stealth Rocks, okay, so probably just didn't want the chip on Nidoking, and well, Alola is still a good switch. Flip turn onto the Rillaboom, and we will see the Scizor once again. The Rillaboom will U-turn into the Scizor, and Kleavor will come out. As we see a U-turn again, knocking out the Kleavor. I think Zapdos was a better play there, honestly. You're able to still get off like U-turn. Like, Scizor can't threaten you all that much. But I mean, you are still opening up Nidoking, so oh well. Scizor will threaten out the Meowscarada as the Meowscarada U-turns. Scizor will close combat into the Nidoking, doing a bit of chip, but Nidoking is still able to threaten it off. The Goldango switch will come out as we see Flamethrower that will knock out the Goldango. This Nidoking just seems very threatening in the Feint's team, I'm gonna be honest. Rillaboom will come out onto the Nidoking as Meowscarada will come out against Feint. U-turn will just knock it out. 4 times weakness, just killing it off. So no 6-0 from Slee. Sad. Tyranitar will come out against the Zapdos as Rillaboom comes in against the Tyranitar. We'll knock off as we see the protective pads from Rillaboom. Interesting. Probably doesn't want the static from Zapdos or Flame Body from Volcarona, stuff like that. So it's a very interesting set. Critical hit into the Scizor with Stone Edge, but still, it is a bit of a threat. Tyranitar will come out and will knock off into the Rillaboom. Oh, sorry. Scizor goes into Rillaboom. So Tyranitar comes out. Okay, Wood Hammer onto Tyranitar will knock it out, but it will just also knock out the Rillaboom as well, trading KOs. Zapdos will come out against the Nidoking, as Ice Beam will hit Zapdos, barely living on. Hidden Power Ice, also barely living on. Oh my. This is very interesting. Flamethrower, just covering a potential Scizor switch while still killing off Zapdos. And Scizor will come out, just Bullet Punching, I'm guessing. Yes. Slee will send out his Scizor next, as he will Swords Dance. Will feint Swords Dances as well. It's going to be very interesting in the game here. So 10% as he Bullet Punches as well. 10%. Yeah, I think just Slee would just win here. Yeah. So Slee had a very early dominant position with his Nidoking there. Just taking out Pokemon left, right, and center. Just open up feints to where he wasn't able to really put as much pressure as he can with Slee, and Slee was able to threaten it with stuff like Tyranitar, Scizor. We didn't see a single Wish from Alomo in this game, did we? No. Because of how fast it went. Okay. So, that was game 1. We'll move on to game 2. Start. Okay, Slee will start off with their Rillaboom, while Feint starts off with Grimmsnarl. Seemingly, just screens Grimmsnarl, yeah. So, I wouldn't be able to tell what Feint's team is by right now, because of lack of team preview. But it is very likely going to be just screens HO. Slee sends out their Tyranitar, as Tyranitar gets up Stealth Rocks. Superpower onto the Tyranitar will knock it out. Wow. Very interesting move slot by Feint to choose. This could potentially be very good for Feint depending on what they have in the back. Darkest Lariat onto the Hatterene. Eject button comes out. And we'll see the Charizard switch. Serperior will come out into the Charizard. It's a pretty interesting switch. I'm not too sure why, to be honest. Probably need something to stack. You'll see the Charizard switch again as Stealth Rocks comes into play here. Roost will come out from Feint's Charizard as we see Scorching Sands onto Slee. Sadly not doing as much as we hoped it would, but this is a very good play by Slee there. Flamethrower will just barely put Charizard in range, being killed. Dragon Claw will just knock out the Charizard, as we see both screens going down during this turn. Rillaboom probably able to throw off Grassy Glide to just kill it off, yeah. So very interesting few turns from both of these players. Both of them knock out 2 of their mons. Grimmsnarl will take a Grassy Glide decently, and it will get up Reflect, and it will get up this Light Screen next turn unless crit happens. No crit occurs. We'll see a switch into Hatterene here, as we see a switch into Volcarona. And back into Donphan. Okay, very interesting Pokemon choice. It will take the Nuzzle decently. Well, not decently, just with immunity. Scizor switch. As we see Rillaboom. Very nice play by Feint. Just able to telegraph that switch by Slee. Knockoff comes into play. The Covert Cloak comes out. Now Swords Dance. Covert Cloak likely for something like Garganacl is my guess. As you can see, the Roost. Okay, so it'll be able to take off knockoffs forevermore. As we see the Dragapult come out, you'll see another Sword Stance. Bullet Punch is definitely a range for Dragapult to be killed. The Dragapult feints, as we see just a very good position from feint here. The Balloon onto Extra Drill, high horsepower. Oh, probably no. Okay, so knockoff just kills it. Yeah, +3 or plus, yeah, ×3, whatever it is, however you say it. It'll just kill it off. Knockoff into Scizor will finally stop its reign, but damage has already been done, as Volcarona will just come in and start quiver dancing on it. Knockoff the heavy duty boots once again. The Hatterene switch, okay, not too sure about that, but oh well, because like Rillaboom is not killing this Volcarona with Grassy Glide. I'm sorry to say. I probably just wouldn't. Well, to be honest, there was barely any way that Slee would win this either way. No matter what play he would have done, he still would have lost. So, not too picky on it. I'm just like pointing out stuff that could potentially be better. But oh well. So Feint wins, making this set 1-1. We'll be going to a game 3 now. Okay. Slee versus Feint. Slee will start off with their Alomola, while Feint starts off with their Weavile. Okay. I'd say it's a decently neutral matchup. Or, you know, Alomola can just toxic it. It's like, while Weavile is like walled by Alomola can't really do anything in return. You can't really put any pressure on the rest of the team, so, you know, I think Slee was just looking out for something there. Probably was Weavile, who knows. So Grimmsnarl will be able to get their screens up while Nidoking does significant damage to that Grimmsnarl. Serperior comes out into Alomola as we see Scizor switch. Lots of Scizors in this set. Substitute comes out from Serperior as we see Glare come out. This is a very fun move. Sword Stance comes out. Now, fun fact in this week, recently we did add the Hidden Power TM into our server, meaning a lot of other Pokemon can now use Hidden Power, but during this week that was not a thing, so Hidden Power Fire Serperior just did not exist. So it would just get walled forevermore by stuff like Scizor, because I can take Leaf Storm upon Leaf Storm upon Leaf Storm, stuff like that. So anyways, Scizor is able to Sword Dance on Serperior for what basically is for free. He will Bullet Punch into the Volcarona now. Now that will be able to threaten it out, and Tyranitar will come out into its place as we see Fiery Dance. We'll see a switch into Scizor from Feint side. Stealth Rock comes out. Like I said, this set seems to really like Scizor, so Zapdos will come out as we see Sword Dance from Feint side. Heat Wave will be able to just barely knock it out. Oh my. I think that's a bit EV for bulk, no? I heavily doubt that Scizor would be able to just live that without any bulk. Anyways, Zapdos will be able to just kind of stall it out now that it got paralyzed. We'll see a Volt Switch from Scizor, knocking out... Volt Switch from Zapdos, sorry, knocking out the Scizor is what I meant to say. Yaskarada comes out as we see Grimmsnarl come out. We set up a last Reflect as Yaskarada U-turns and knocks out the Grimmsnarl. We see the Nidoking switch, And Volcarona will come out. As the Volcarona quiver dances, we see the Nidoking use Earth Power. Just one more Earth Power we're able to knock it out, but Slee does not want to like potentially risk anything, like a potential Psychic or something like that. Giga Drain will come out, doing just above 1/2, or just below 1/2, I'm sorry, to Tyranitar. Tyranitar will knock it out with Stone Edge. Feint does seem to be backed in a big corner right here. Because, like, you do have some mons which are a bit chipped, like Tyranitar, Zapdos, Scizor got paralyzed here, but there are walls that, like the two reveal mons from Feint's side, there are walls to the Pokemon that they have. Like, Weavile is toxic, so it can get stalled out by Alomola. And Superior gets walled forevermore like Scizor, like I said before. Are there anything else that can be threatening? Well, no, not really. Okay, anyways. Enough of that spiel. Leaf Storm from Superior will come out. Scizor being able to just threaten it. We'll sub up as Scizor will paralyze. We'll see Leech. Okay, hold on. There may be something that Feint will be able to do here now with Leech Seed. You can stall that with Paralysis. Leaf Storm will come out into Scizor. You turn out, okay. So, not too bad. Yaskrala will come out as Reflect ends. We'll be able to triple Axle here and just knock it out. If it hits every single one, though. Yeah. Superior gets knocked out by the triple Axle. Thankfully, no miss from Slee's side. Feint will go out into the Weavile, as Slee will just go into your Alomola. Ice Spinner, not really doing anything, really. Feint's last mon will be that Charizard, based on the item. I'd say it's likely going to be Charizard X, depending on the usage, yeah. Knockoff will just be able to kill off the Charizard no matter what. And Slee it just looks like Slee is going to be able to 6-0 here, as Weavile is unable to break through every single team member in time. And well, Alomola just fully walls it, so, you know. Yeah, you see the 6-0 from Slee. So, very interesting matches from these two. And we see a 6-0 in that last game. So Slee's current record is 42. It's a very respectable record so far, and they'll end off their week with 2 wins, 0 losses, as Feint sadly goes 0-2. Hopefully we see a bit of a comeback from it, as they were facing against decently good players. Okay, our second match, this is the form where we get each set. So, Quads, Labrats versus End Islanders, we will see Quick Quint versus Artemois. Okay, now, this is a very interesting matchup to be number 1 in the voting. Hopefully I can find it, okay. So both these players, they are decently active in our tournament scene. And oh, I think this is the first doubles set we get to see here. Oh, that's sick. Yeah, we also do doubles in a Dime Premier League because we are inclusive. Okay, now, bit of a warning, doubles is a bit buggy. So I'll just describe everything that's going on right. So, Quick Quint versus Artemois, you'll be seeing Sableye lead with Gengar as their partner in crime. And this is the bug I'm talking about. Sometimes they send it out twice. so you just gotta get used to it. As we see Wheezing and Palafin come out. Okay. Now, I'm not too familiar with doubles, personally, so I'll just try to do this to the best of my ability. Okay. So, lead matchup here. Sableye may be like a screen setter with Prankster and Light Clay. Well, yeah, Light Clay seems to be likely, I think. With Gengar, it doesn't threaten Wheezing too bad. Palafin, it can get some really good chip onto Palafin, or really good damage. Wheezing leads me to suspect that there's some Pokemon to use that ability in the back. And Palafin is just Palafin, just switch out and just do big damage afterwards. Okay, let's begin. We will see the switch in Toedscruel, that is Damon, which will be Wheezing's partner in crime. As its ability, if you don't know, lowers their status moves into the lowest priority bracket, meaning they will almost always use their move last. And Wheezing's neutralizing gas disables any form of ability, so it will just throw off like just very fast spores. And in doubles, there are no sleep bands, meaning you can spore Pokemon as many times as you want. Hooray! Okay. So Toedscruel will come out, and Hypnosis misses the Wheezing. Sludge Bomb into Sableye, not doing too much. As Sableye switch out with the eject button. Okay, very interesting item to see. Garchomp will come out. Decently threatening Mon into Wheezing. You throw off EQ, but they do need to keep in mind that Gengar's on the side, and if you do use that move, you'll be killing that Gengar. So we'll just see how this goes. Maybe it is a single attacking move, like, I don't know, high horsepower. I don't know if Garchomp gets high horsepower. Okay, so Palafin will come out in place of Toedscruel. Sable will come out into Gengar. Protect from Wheezing. EQ will just do just half of Sableye's current health and around half of Palafin's full health. Fake outs into Palafin, meaning they won't get anything off, as EQ will come out again, knocking out the Sableye, putting Wheezing in a good range, except it has Citrus Berry. And Palafin being flinched and being put at very low health. Will-O-Wisp comes out but burns! And burns the Garchomp, but it does get the Lumberry activation. Very interesting. Okay. So, currently, right now, Garchomp is in a very, very good position here to just throw off Earthquakes. And based on Gengar's set, I think that they will potentially have Protect. Because Specs or Scarf Hypnosis doesn't seem right to me. Especially in doubles. EQ will just be able to knock out Wheezing and Palafin at the same time. So Artemon needs to figure out something on how am I able to just be able to make do of this situation. We'll see what will happen next turn. Next turn comes out. Garchomp will protect. Okay, so he's preserving the Garchomp, even with its the threat it poses onto Artemon. So I'm thinking he did that because of the threat that Garchomp poses. Like I said before, Artemon is inclined to just get it out as soon as possible. So I think that is a good play there. And plus Wheezing is still able to protect this turn. So yeah, pretty good play by Quint. Shadow Ball into Palafin, knocking it out. Okay. See Toedscruel switch into battle. You see a second protect failing from Armla's side. Dragon Rush into the Toad School. Just a interesting move to have in the back. Shadow Ball doubling up into Toad School, knocking it out. Okay. Wheezing is a bit of sitting duck here. Oh, never mind. It does have its other partner in crime, Slaking. Garchomp will be put to sleep still. Sludge Wave will just do decent damage. Knockoff. It will have Sash. I don't think it's gonna be mattering too much because it's Wheezing. Yeah, it's just gonna be able to knock it out. What will we see with Quint's last Pokemon? Volcarona. Okay. I'm gonna see this Protect from Volcarona. Inclined to just keep it alive as much as possible. Weezing will protect as well. Double Edge into the Slaking. Into Garchomp. Just take some recoil, but still able to live alive. Oh my god. This Slaking's doing so much. Well, that's the power of this core, I guess. Weezing is able to just ignore Slaking's Truant, and Slaking is able to just kill everything, basically. With its just monstrous stats and stab double edge. Stuff like that, yeah. That was a speed tie too, was it? Yeah. That was likely going to be a speed tie between Slaking and Volcarona. So, very interesting match from these two players. We'll be moving on to game 2. Okay. So, this leads would be... Okay, we'll switch around just for sake of clarity. So, we will see similar leads with Arnamol leading Weezing and Toadscruel instead of a Palafin this time. And Sableye as well as Gengar. Okay, so basically same leads except for one Pokemon. You'll see Fake Out into the Weezing as Spore comes out to the Gengar. I'm not too sure about that play because, like, I think you just wanted to Fake Out into Toadscruel because, like, what is Weezing doing to you? What would Weezing be doing to you in this situation here? I don't really agree with that play. Because right now, Toadscruel is your main threat right now. Because, like, it can Spore, it could potentially Earth Power into the Gengar. And two of your mons can't really do anything about it off the bat. Or put enough pressure to where Artemois would switch out the Toadscruel or potentially protect it. So we'll just continue on. As we see Earth Power into Gengar, just barely killing it. Or barely just living, I meant to say. Will-O-Wisp into the Sableye. As we see Gravity come into play. Okay. So I think this is supposed to be in conjunction with the Hypnosis that Gengar has, so I was able to hit it, and potentially any other Mon in the back. But Gengar will be able to wake up as you see Swagger into Palafin. Okay, so Palafin will switch out into the Toadscruel. Protect from Weezing. Just playing a bit defensive here. Dragon Rush into the Toadscruel. Foul play. It will still be alive, but, you know, Garchomp, I think, does outspeed Toadscruel here. Yep. And we'll be able to threaten off a kill. Yep. So Toadscruel down for the count. We'll be wisping into the Garchomp as it Lumberry activates. We'll see Slaking come out. Protect. You're going to see a double protect here. Okay. High horsepower from Slaking. As we see another Wisp come out. failing because of Protect. You'll see Sableye come out. And let's see what happens next. High horsepower. Critical hit. Still living. Oh my. Okay. We see Quiver Dance coming out from Volcarona. Wisping. Okay. Okay. Something can potentially happen here. Protect comes out from Volcarona's side as Quint is protecting their main threat currently. Haze! Oh, okay, okay. That's huge for Artemois here. It's huge. So, Artemois does seem to have like a pretty good position currently. That's what I'm seeing. High horsepower into Garchomp. Just taking rough skin damage. Sludge Bomb, just getting chipped on Sableye is my guess. Eject Button comes out. Getting out of Volcarona. Okay, 2 threats out. You'll see Protect from Volcarona. And Earthquake from Garchomp. Oh! Putting both of Artemois' Mons into red, and Weezing getting off the Citrus Berry. Slaking will be knocked out because of Life Orb damage, protecting Volcarona. Sableye comes out, as Palafin will also come out onto Artemois' side. Fake Out into Palafin from Sableye. Giga Drain comes into play from Volcarona, attacking the Palafin. Sludge Bomb. I feel a very obvious Protect is going to come out here from Quint. Yes. Wave Crash. Artemois does not read the Protect as he doubles into it. Okay. Ooh, okay. That's a bit luckier. A bit luckier. Let's see. He gets a double Protect onto the Volcarona. Oh my. Oh no. This is very, very, very good play by Quint, I think. Because there's not much else you can do. But it is a bit lucky still. Heat Wave onto the Weezing. Critical hit. I don't think he still could have done anything else even without the crit. And Quint wins game 2. Okay. A bit of luck in there. Okay, very interesting game there. Very interesting game. So I'm pretty sure we get the gist of what these two are bringing. Quint just seems to be bringing a pretty offensive gravity team with Artemois using the core of Galarian Weezing with 2 Mons being Slaking and Toadscruel. And while Quint wasn't able to, or no, yeah, well, if Quick, yeah, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. It's all over the place. Okay, anyways, let's just move on to game 3. Let's move on to game 3. I've already explained what these two players are already bringing. It's just a matter of how these two are going to be dealing with it. So, lead Sableye and Garchomp from Quint's side, and Artemois will lead off with Toadscruel and Weezing, same lead as we saw last game. Quint's finally changing it up. Earthquake onto the Garchomp. Just getting off some immediate damage. Eject Button comes out, Gengar being sent out. Spore will come out onto the Gengar as Wisp will come out. Lum, yep. So, just throwing off some very huge damage here. Protect will come out, just preserving the threat. Spore onto the Garchomp as he protects. Fake Out. Once again, I don't really see it. Potentially getting some chip here actually, so it isn't too bad. Just confirming the kill, I think. Spore onto Garchomp, finally making asleep. 2 Mons are currently asleep currently. I say currently twice there. Volcarona comes out. as we see Swagger onto the Toad School. Flip Turn comes out, doing some really good damage. Yeah, 76. No Burn comes out, as we see Slaking come out. Wheezing is burned here, though. Not Wheezing is dead, is what I meant to say. So these two mons that are currently on the field are unable to do anything really. They're unable to just. Oh my. Oh my. Okay. Two mons got confused and they hit themselves in confusion. Slaking was unable to do anything really, and well, Toadstool is just annoyed at this point. Just gonna throw off Earth Power onto Gengar. Curse Bite disables the Earth Power, so I don't think we'll be able to do anything here. The only thing Toadstool will be able to do is Spore, but once again, last priority bracket. Ice Punch into the Garchomp, just straight up killing it. Very nice play by Artemwad there. Gengar still asleep, and Artemwad just spores it, supposedly into the other slot. Ice Punch. Okay, so based on that play, I'm just led to believe that that's banded. Okay. And with Toadstool down, yeah, it's over. It's just gonna be over at this point. Yeah. It's a bit less impressive now because it's banded. I mean, it's a good call, but like with Volcarona in the back, that just becomes a bit questionable. I mean, it's still a good play for the moment. Quint will be able to take game 3 of this set. This is a very, very fun first game of doubles on this video. So, or this series, I should say. So, very nice. Okay, so the Redstoners versus the Tree Capitators. Now, I just want to mention Mumoff versus Guatar. I put FF here because someone forfeited, and well, I should say who it was. Guat, I'm pretty sure, forfeited the match. And well, obviously there was no match to be recorded. I still put it in there, and some of you jokers just voted for them just to be funny. I don't know who you are, but for those who voted Mumoff vs. Guatar, you are not funny. There's no humor involved into this. Okay, so we'll just be choosing the next highest set then, because there's no match. Aurostyle versus Donut. Okay. Let's find that here now. Aurostyle versus Donut. Oh, this sucks. Okay. So, this is one of the games which was, like, kind of corrupted because of Game 1 being hosted in a server which didn't record any replays, and Game 2 didn't have a replay because someone had to relog during the battle at the end, so replay wasn't shared. So, does kind of suck. I'll just read out the Game 1 was won by Aurostyle and Game 2 was won by Donut. We'll be just watching Game 3 now. So 1-1. We're in Game 3 of this set. So all the sets we covered so far had gone into Game 3. Very close games, to be honest. Toe to toe, neck to neck, stuff like that. What other things that you just want to incorporate to each game? Okay, we'll just start off. Aura will start off with their Garganackle, while Donut will start into Lopunny. Donut just being in a very good position here to just throw off the CC. Garganaka will protect, just taking the fake out. And Toxapex will come out onto the Lopunny. U-turn will come out, just switching out. Just pivoting around to the Ferrothorn. Okay. So, seems like Donut brought a bit more of like a balanced, bulky offense type team, while Orsal brought more bulkier team from the seams of it. Yeah. So, switches down to Scizor onto the Ferrothorn. Okay. As the Scizor will Sword Stance up. And we'll Bullet Punch the Grimmsnarl, knocking it out. Okay. Good offensive pressure by Aura here. Clodsire will come out into the Scizor. Seeing the damage, it's definitely unaware. They will haze out. As Garganacl comes into the Clodsire. You see the EQ. They're just doing over 1/3 of Garganacl's health. Garganacl will set up Stealth Rocks as Clodsire recovers. Okay. Currently, the offensive pressure is on Aura's side right now, as he currently has hazards. He has one Mon down. He has decently good answers into Donut's revealed Mons currently. Just going well for him thus far. Salkir onto the Ferrothorn, doing 1/4 of Ferrothorn's health. Leech Seed still misses the Garganacl. 2 missed Leech Seeds there now. That does suck on Donut's side. Clodsire comes out into the Scizor. As Scizor Bullet Punches the Clodsire, we see Earthquake come out. Hydreigon will come out onto our style side. That's a Mon that we don't really see here, so pretty interesting. Dark Pulse onto Clodsire, as Clodsire will Toxic. It's a bit of an odd play from our style, I think, because Clodsire is still gonna be walling the Hydreigon. I think he was bluffing a substitute set. I personally think. Goldengo will come out into Gliscor, just starting it off with a balloon set. Toxapex comes out and actually threatens the Goldengo out. Interesting. Knockoff into the Ferrothorn. Scald into the Ferrothorn now. Burn, no burn, okay. Leech Seed will come out. Finally hitting one. Very nice. Scizor will come out onto the Ferrothorn. Knockoff, taking that pretty respectively. Clodsire. Close combat into the Clodsire. Still going to be taking that very well. We see Gliscor come out into the Clodsire here. Which is a very good matchup. Or doubles out into Hydreigon onto the Ferrothorn. I think he was more so looking for the Goldengo switch, but you know, still good. Flamethrower onto the Clodsire. Actually burns it with Flamethrower. Okay. Glade will come out onto the Clodsire. Okay. Also another interesting Mon we don't see really, especially when it's outside of its Mega form. Cycle Cut will actually be able to kill off Ferrothorn due to how much it's chipped. As we see the Lopunny coming out here. Garganacl will come out into the Lopunny, just taking out the Fake Out. Very nice. Garganacl will protect here, scouting for what move he'll do next. U-turn. Donut will continue to U-turn. Okay. Doesn't want to show off the fighting type move, interestingly enough. So Salkir and will come out onto the Clodsire. Just getting some really good chip onto it, really. Salkir once again into Lopunny. Okay. or it just seems to be stalling out with Saltgears here. Garchomp comes out into play against the Garganacl. Friends, Aura Style a bit. You see Swords Dance from it. Quadsire will come out against the Hydreigon, as Hydreigon Draco Meteors. Hydreigon will be able to Draco Meteor again if he pleases. But it does miss, sadly enough. Meaning Clodsire is able to recover it off. Orsal switches out into the Glade. Clodsire recovers again, okay. You see Psycho Cut critical hit, dead. Glade being a very, very nice Pokemon to have against those bulkier mons, just due to how much it can threaten it with its wall breaking capabilities. The score comes out into Garchomp, as Gholdengo will come out, wanting to preserve it with its balloon, as it is still able to take on Gliscor with its balloon. Donut does want to continue preserving the balloon though. Toxapex will come out and knock off. Lopunny fakes out the Toxapex, although Toxapex is just still able to take it on. Close combat, interestingly enough, in Toxapex. Not too sure about that play, but oh well. Close combat again. This does just seem like just a 6-0 from Orstyle here. I hope he doesn't drop 6-0, to be honest, because I just like when 6-0s happen. It's very interesting. U-turn finally comes out in Lopunny. I feel like they should have done that before, but oh well. Garchomp comes out against Toxapex. Cover. Gliscor comes out against the Garchomp. Swords Dance comes out. We see another Swords Dance comes out. Okay. Donut being able to threaten this team with Swords Dances. Okay, hold on. Okay. This Garchomp does seem to be in a very, very threatening position. EQ comes out. Earthquake. Garganacl does go down. Okay. Now, Aura's in a bit of a tough spot here. Draco Meteor. Okay, so this is Scarf then. Scarf Hydreigon will be able to knock out the Garchomp. Aura Style is in a bit of a tough position here against the Gholdengo, though. We'll see how this plays out. Fakes out into the Scizor. Bullet Punch into Lopunny. Although I think Aura Style handled this very well. I do think so. Shadow Ball into the Scizor. Knockoff. Yeah, it's over. Pivoted around the Scizor, being able to just take on the Gliscor as the last mon, and not just be threatening it with nasty plots. So, very nice game. And I mean, either way, you still have Hydreigon back with Dark Pulse. So, I don't think there was actually too much of a threat on Donut's side. Except for that Garchomp, though. That was a bit threatening at the time. Anyways, pretty nice games from both players. Aura Style bringing out the 2-1 win again this time. Or, well, not again. He did win this one 2-1. Anywho, those are the matches for week 2 of non-Premier League. Let's hope that there's not too much scuff in the audio this time, because the music and my voice just didn't pair too well in the last video. So yeah,